It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Green Bay Packers and the Tennessee Titans. Coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Music City. Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, and Nissan Stadium on the shores of the Cumberland River. So good to have you with us, Mike Tirico, Greg Olson up here in the booth. And Greg, this is one of those games that is a little old school. Maybe if it was in black and white, it would be fitting, right? We got a couple of teams who love to hand it off and see their running backs do it on the ground.
It's just so cool, and you mentioned it, Mike. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, this would have been the norm on any given weekend, but we're seeing the game trend to more of a passing-style offense. If you want to score points, it mostly comes through the air. So for these two kind of throwback offenses that rely so heavily on their running backs, for anybody that loves old-school power football, I think we're in for a treat.
For the return, it's Keyshawn Nixon. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Here comes the pack, and here comes Jordan Love. Fifth season at quarterback, but Greg, just his second as a starter, waited his turn and had a really good first year as a starter.
Took a little while for him to get his chance to be a full-time starter, but once he got that shot, he's just never looked back. I mean, Mike, think, he's always had that powerful arm. He can push the ball up and down the field and make every throw imaginable. But that time he spent on the sideline, I think it ended up being a massive blessing in disguise. He was able to work on his game from a mental and technical standpoint with no pressure to play. And now he is reaping all the benefits. The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
A big gainer for Green Bay. 37 yards.
Well, they've come out swinging here on this opening drive through the air, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Generate some early chunk plays and try to get some points.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Here's the former Raider. They signed him back in March. It's Josh Jacobs. He'll take this forward for about a yard at best. Linebacker Ernest Jones ends that play. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Love. This one is caught by Luke Musgrave. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. He'll let this go towards the end zone.
When you find yourself in this situation, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
Titans coming out with their quarterback, Will Levis. Good performance last year. Taken early in that 2nd round in the 2023 draft. Greg, this quarterback out of Kentucky could be the future for Tennessee.
You'd love to see the biggest jump of a young quarterback's career, Mike, being between year 1 and year 2. I mean, you think about what these young quarterbacks go through entering their rookie year. They have the entire pre-draft process, then the idea of being drafted and going to a new organization and learning what it means to play quarterback in the NFL. Well, in year 2, everything's not new. Everything's not a first experience. It allows them to just take a deep breath, play, develop, rely on what got you here. We see so many quarterbacks in year 2 really have their breakout campaigns.
Oh, after the catch, he's hit, and the ball is out.
I feel like we see this so often, Mike, especially with how good these receivers are after the catch. They're so eager to pick up that extra yardage. Sometimes they don't completely put the ball away, and with how good these defenders are at knocking it loose, pretty fortunate on that one. His teammate was there to prevent that from being a turnover.
So, not much to speak of in terms of scoring in that first quarter of play. 0-0 is the score. And we're back in Music City after this. They'll empty out the backfield and line up for 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Levis. He's got his tight end. That's a Okonkwo. That's his first reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
3rd down is when we see so many tight ends around the league really make their money. They operate in the middle of the field. They're a big, easy target for the quarterback, and even if they are covered, Mike, they're not really.
Oh, after the catch, he's hit, and the ball is out. The Packers have it. Oh, big hole left side. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown. And Greg, so frustrating for the receiver. With the catch, ready to gain some yards. Instead, it goes back the other way, and the defense comes away with a touchdown.
Yeah, catching the ball, Mike, is just step 1 of the process. After you catch it, you have to put it away and become a ball carrier. And that's where ball security kicks in. In this case, he makes a nice catch, tries to get his eyes downfield to run. They're able to knock the ball out. That leads to the turnover, which leads to 6 points.
The extra point, up and good. And the Packers will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Titans offense ready to see the football for the 2nd time. Let's see if they can bounce back from the early mistake. That fumble a moment ago returned for a touchdown. The offense gets it back, 1st and 10. Levis to throw on 1st and 10. That's to the former Jaguar and Falcon, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
Nice grab there by Ridley, and this is a unit that this Tennessee Titans offense has continued to search and build ever since the departure of A.J. Brown a few years back. And now with the signing of Calvin Ridley, a guy who has been a playmaker everywhere he's been, they're starting to put together a really nice receiving core down in Tennessee.
2 minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. We're back to Nashville in a moment. Here's a 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, Levis. Right back to Boyd. He's got it again. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. He's got his man. That's Boyd. And he will score. Tyler Boyd. Touchdown, Tennessee. Third down. My focus, Greg, was on picking up the first down. Forget that. They go down the field and in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't think it was just your focus, Mike. I think in this case, it was the defense's focus. They're so worried about where that first down marker was that they allowed them to get that ball up and over the top for the deep strike touchdown.
The veteran Nick Folk here for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Titans will level things out at 7 apiece. So back to level after the touchdown. And time for the kickoff. On the return, here's Jaden Reed. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Packers offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. We'll try to break out of this deadlock. We are all even at 7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That's caught right side. It's the tight end Musgrave. Love to start any drive like that. 18 on the first play. And a first down.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode. And
oh, they're on him in a flash, and he's lost the football. The Titans have got it. And there it is. The defense comes up with the big play, forcing the fumble as they get their offense right back on the field. Coming up, Greg, with a big turnover.
Taking the ball away, Mike, has really become an art form in the NFL. Some teams are good at it, some teams not so much. But in this case, great job by the defense taking that one away.
The Titans offense and quarterback Will Levis ready for their next possession. They'll start in outstanding field position, looking for a way to break our tie. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Levis. This pass deflected and caught. And he's out of bounds all the way inside the 15-yard line. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a first down.
Nice grab there by Boyd, and I think it was really smart of the Titans in how they pursued this, Mike. I mean, think they put him together with his former offensive coordinator, Brian Callahan, all in hopes that the two of them...
And he's in! DeAndre Hopkins! Touchdown Titans! Greg, they take advantage of the good field position and move it downfield for the score.
When you take the field as an offense, there's a little added confidence boost, Mike, when you see yourself this close to the end zone. You get into the huddle, you're anxious to see what the next couple plays are. They're able to take advantage and end up punching it in.
Folks' extra point is good. And the Titans will move out to a 14-7 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here's Nixon on the return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Packers offense going to see what they can do in the final minute of this first half. They trail now 14-7 as they'll come up for 1st and 10. Love to throw. That's to his tight end, Musgrave.
The drag route. We used to say this is day one install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
A good play action with Love. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete. Luke Musgrave, the tight end, was the intended target there. And it'll be third down. On play action, Love. He gets that complete as he hits Reed. And he is out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 40-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Love. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Back to the air, it's Love. Catch is made by Romeo Dobbs. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
That one taken in. Romeo Dobbs. Touchdown, Green Bay. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. Not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand, but you have to win as a receiver quickly and give the quarterback somewhere to go with the ball. It was that quickness at the line of scrimmage that led to that touchdown.
That ties the game at 14.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. The return starts from the 5. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Titans offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. This one, everything we could have hoped for to this point. All even at 14. They'll start this drive with first down. Now Levis, looking middle, and he's got Ridley. And he's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Levis. He's going to get it. Oh, after the catch, he's hit, and the ball is out. And the defense has it.
Something these running back coaches preach all the time, Mike, is you can't sacrifice the ball for additional yardage. And I think we had a case of that going here. I love the effort. I love the fight. But it can't come at the expense of the ball. Everything in football is about protecting the ball itself. And in this case, just a little bit too loose with it. They're able to pop it loose, and that's a big turnover.
Love to throw on 1st and 10. That's caught downfield. Dobbs. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
First down, Packers.
On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw is Love. To the goal line and in. Christian Watson. Touchdown, Packers.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and That's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
An extra point attempt to follow. He's got it. And the Packers have broken the deadlock as they move out to a 21-14 lead. The clock showing 5 seconds remaining in this half as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Here's Levis to throw. That's deep, looking for Boyd. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered, and that is how this first half will come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top in this second half. Coming up. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. From the 6, here comes a return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Titans offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And I want to take you through the highlights here. They have been plentiful from the quarterback position. Has the offense running at a high efficiency throughout, and we'll try to sustain it here down the stretch. On 1st and 10, here's Levis. To the left side in the hands of Boyd. And he'll be brought down up around the 38-yard line.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
Connecting with his tight end, Okonkwo. He's close to a 1st down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
And that's a 1st down. It will be a gain of 8.
Doing a nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field, and this is a great example here why.
Off the play fake, it's Levis. He'll look for Pollard out of the backfield.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
From the gun, it's Levis. He's got his tight end. That's Okonkwo. That's 2 catches on this drive. This one for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allowed the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. The motion man is Boyd. They'll get creative here on the jet sweep. Ah, the ball's out. The Packers have it. And they will finally get him out of bounds. It is a big hitter to close out the third quarter. So we are through 3. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Let's go now.
From the gun, it's Love. The open man is Reed. He's got it. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
Second and 7. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down. To throw is Love. That's going to be incomplete. They cannot hook up there. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So now, a big spot coming here. This to make it a 2-possession lead. And this one right down the middle. It's good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. On the return, here's Tajay Spears. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Tennessee offense. They get set to see what they can do. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Get started with 1st and 10. The tight end, Okonkwo, is in motion. They'll drop to throw. This throw, right side, taken in by Ridley. Inside the 10. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 71 yards. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Well, that was step 1. The offense did their job, get this thing back within 1 possession, so they're still alive. But now they've got to find a way to get a little bit of luck and find a way to get the ball back, and it's not going to be easy.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here's Nixon on the return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The Packers offense make their way out to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Here's a timeout, Tennessee. It'll be their second, and they'll take it with just over 90 seconds left on the clock. This crowd into it now as we get to third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He's got his man right side. It's complete. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. Titans going to use the last of their timeouts here. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Cut.
The defense still with all three timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to a knee. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone.